Welcome to the Bids That Give business overview. Now with Bids That Give, every bid helps a kid. That's our mission statement. So before we begin, let's kind of get the legal out of the way. To save time, stop the presentation now and you can read through the disclosure. Now this one is important, so the following paragraph must be read aloud whenever the Bids That Give rewards program is presented verbally or by telephone or included in its entirety when communicating in writing. If you make a purchase from Bids That Give, you're purchasing an e-commerce subscription or you're purchasing bids to give away as samples. You are not purchasing stock or any other form of investment or equity. You must actually use the bids that you purchased or give them away as samples to help grow your business. Affiliates who present our products to others in a misleading manner or in a way that leads the buyer to believe that he or she is making an investment or purchasing equities will be terminated and all commissions and awards will be forfeited. Buyers must read the entire How It Works section on the company's website and the legal disclaimers. And we like to call this one the one, right? Private Revenue Sharing Company, or PRSC. Now this is the one that helps children in need. That was the main purpose why this company was created. With the revolutionary new concept called PRSC, right? Private Revenue Sharing Company. This is unprecedented in the home-based business industry. This is the one that you've been searching for. This is the one that pays you to actually advertise. It's the one that can pay you what you're worth, and it absolutely is the one that changes the game. So over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about three things. One, how it helps children in need. Two, allows you to receive retail items up to 95 to an amazing 99% off. And lastly, make a serious monthly residual income working from home. Now with this business model, you don't have to worry about inventorying products or shipping anything. Instead, you can run your virtual business and it takes less than 15 minutes per day. You simply get paid to advertise by driving free traffic through your own affiliate link to our penny auction site. Now simply put, as you advertise online, right, a free ad, that drives traffic to our site. And of course, when you drive traffic to the site, you're bringing customers to the table. And as customers participate, that adds to the company's bottom line and increased revenue from all the people that love to play the penny auction business, knowing that in our program, win or lose, every bid helps a kid. Now what fuels the growth of our business are pennies. And a lot of people are saying, well, how can pennies actually make that big of a difference? Well, if you understand the power of a penny, right? If you've seen this formula before, you take 1 penny and you double it every day for 30 days, it becomes over $5 million. Well, think about the largest penny auction sites that are out there. They do thousands of auctions per day where the actual item goes up 1 penny at a time. Then you multiply that by the cost of the bids. These companies are making a substantial amount of profit or revenue on a day-to-day basis. So our goal is to become the largest penny auction site in the world that helps underprivileged and orphan children. Now if you haven't already seen some of our company videos, let's just briefly go through the penny auction process. Here we see a MacBook Pro, right, that normally retails for over $1,600, and in actual auction it ended at under $10. And I thought, well, how could this be, right? It sounds like they're giving it away. But if you understand the formula, right, $9.18, well, a penny will go into that 918 times. Well, you do the math, like the largest penny auction site in the United States charges 60 cents a bid. So if we multiply 918 times 66, we have a little over $550. Well, they don't buy the laptops like we do, 1 or 2 at a time. They buy them, in bulk, usually directly from the country which is creating them. So there's obviously profit built into the equation. Now, but think about the customer that gets to take home a laptop like this for under 10 bucks. You know they went back to work and bragged to everybody of what an incredible deal is. And of course with our program, not only will they talk about the deal they got on the actual computer, but how every bid helped a kid. We see here the Apple iPhone, right? And this one's going off like it was in a live auction where there's the clock here that's counting down. Now when it starts at $0.00. And then as it goes into the live auction, everybody starts bidding on the product at the price that they see in the actual auction. And so what happens is every bid that's going in, and the clock starts counting down from 20 seconds. Well, every time a bid goes in, the clock resets to 20 seconds, and as people keep bidding, and the last bid in wins the actual auction itself. And what we've done is we've created, an environment where we have the lowest wholesale prices on the internet. So we have incredible merchandise, an incredible format, We have, the most cost-effective way to play the penny auction game, and then everybody that's playing it understands that every bid that they're throwing out there is helping a child. So it's kind of a win-win formula, and of course, we're going to be incredibly attractive to people who already understand the penny auction business, and of course, it's going to be a wonderful surprise for the people that come here for the first time. Now, with our program, we have 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Now, our base operation for the United States of America is in Las Vegas, where all product is going to be shipped out within 72 hours. Now, we see here in the upper right-hand corner some things that have been sold in penny auctions, like, once again, we see a TV going for a little over $25, an iPad for a little over $16, an Xbox for $13, that Nikon camera is usually typically $1,000 retail, one for a little over $30. So you can see here the incredible value that penny auctions have for people that win the auction, plus to talk about, in addition to the actual entertainment value. Now let's get kind of into the concept of our program, right? The PRSC, that's Private Revenue Sharing Company. Well, with the Bids That Give program, we give you multiple ways to earn income. Now we're going to cover all these in their entirety, so let's just kind of go over them right now. We got retail bid commissions, we got a retail store profit, we've got the Ambassador Club daily revenue share pool, we've got a car allowance, we've got wholesale bid commissions, we've got subscription bonus pools, we've got quarterly six-figure lifestyle bonuses, and an amazing million-a-year club. So when it comes to the bids, what we wanted to do is become really the most aggressive company out there to attract the most customers. So to people who want to play the retail part of our game, it's 65 cents per bid. You will get 20% commission for all the customers that buy the bids at the retail level. However, if someone wants to participate in the program, or even just a customer that wants to commit more than $10, they can actually get the bids at 50 cents. So we have two different forms of bids: wholesale bids and subscription bids. Now the wholesale bids are designed for us to purchase, right, and give those away. That's a form of advertising our business to people. So instead of trying to sell something to somebody, you say, look, I found a website, it helps underprivileged children, every bid helps a kid, here's 100 bids, go knock yourself out. And that's a way to get people to participate without us having to quote unquote sell them anything, right? It's just a way of kind of puppy dogging them into the program. And that's a great way to explode your business and help it go viral online, is to allow people to participate for free to kind of get the flavor of it is what we're doing. And so those wholesale bids are at 50 cents. Subscription bids are also at 50 cents, and those are designed for us to use ourselves in the auction, even though we can't give them away. Once again, the minimum purchase for subscription bids is simply $10 to get them at 50 cents a bid. We do have a retail store, and that's a way that you can actually take the products that you have, mark them up, and provide that service or product to the consumer. Plus, you can also take our products, mark them up, and it's just another way to create another revenue source. Now when it comes to the contribution here on the subscription bids, we have four categories. We call it contributor, which is simply a minimum $10 monthly commitment. That's 20 subscription bids. Now if you know anything about the penny auction business, 20 bids is not going to last a very long time. Maybe an auction, maybe. The Guardian is somebody that has $50 in commitment. That's 100 subscription bids. The Benefactor is $100 or 200 subscription bids. But the ultimate price here is the Global Ambassador. That's $250 a month in commitment. That gives us 500 subscription bids. Now we have a program called Sell 4, Pay No More, and what that means is whatever subscription package you're at, if you encourage 4 people to do the same thing that you're doing, then the following month and every month thereafter, we're going to actually give you the bids free of charge. In other words, we're going to give you, let's say you're a Global Ambassador and you've got 4 other people that also came on board as a Global Ambassador. You don't have to pay the $250 anymore, but you still receive the 500 subscription bids to go use in the auction or giveaway free of charge. Now with the Bids to Give program, depending if you're at the Contributor, Guardian, Benefactor, or Global Ambassador, you can see here the more of the commitment, the more of the benefit. But the important thing here on the page is the lifetime maximum bids that you can purchase. So at the contributor level, the most you can pay in a lifetime of outside money is $1,000. The Guardian has a limitation of $5,000. Benefactor is $10,000, and the Global Ambassador, remember this is lifetime, is $25,000. And when it comes to the wholesale bids, remember, now we're purchasing these to be able to give away to promote our business, and that can generate up to 12% for anybody you personally refer to the program. Now if you're at their contributor level, it'll be 5%. If you're at the Guardian, it's 7%, the Benefactor is 10%, and of course the Global Ambassador pays the highest commission out, which is 12%. Now any of those affiliates who refer the program to one other person, or I should say their first generation of people, you will also receive half the commission. I like pictures better than words, so here we are in red. Anybody we personally refer to the program, any wholesale bids they purchase and or repurchase for the lifetime of their existence in the program, we get upwards of 12%. Now, any of the people that they personally refer, first generation, we will receive between 2.5% to 6%. This can be a substantial amount of money in a very short period of time. So once again, up to 12% on what we personally do, all the way up to 6% on what they do. Now we have two choices of what to do with this commission, because this is calculated daily. So we have a daily revenue sharing pool. So we can do one of two things. We can put that money in our pocket, or we can put it towards the daily revenue sharing pool. But let's talk about the qualification first, because a lot of programs sound good on paper, or they sound good in person, but when you get down to it, the average person cannot qualify, right, to start receiving the income. So see if this works for you. It takes three things. We have a retail customer quota. You have to get 2 retail customers. And what that means is you collect 2 email addresses and give bids away to those 2 people. That's the first qualifier. Second one is we run a free ad per day. Every day we run a free ad. Now what that constitutes is going into your back office, finding the ads that we've already pre-selected for you, choose the one that works for you, you copy it with your mouse. We'll give you a bunch of approved websites, and you paste that ad on the website and then prove that you've actually posted for that day. That's running a free ad per day. You do that 6 days a week. Then the last qualification is you have a minimum of $10 of bids. If you can meet those 3 qualifiers, you will qualify for the daily revenue sharing pool. So remember, for whatever bids that you personally purchase yourself, the wholesale bids that will be into this pool, you can qualify for more daily revenue sharing. And then you have your choice of any commission you generate from referring people to the program. You can either A, put that in your pocket, or you can put it towards the daily revenue sharing pool. So it's a simple formula. We take up to 50% of all the wholesale bids that the company is doing all across everywhere, and all the profit in the auction. So we take all that money from both of those sources, put it in a pool, we take up to 50% of that, and then we divide it up equally to all the people that are participating in the program. What we do know is we're going to have to limit this, right, to protect the integrity of the company's profit, and we're going to put a daily, weekly, and or yearly cap on this of $1 million a year, or $20,000 per week, or $3,000 a day, Monday through Friday, $5,000 for the weekend. In addition to whatever wholesale bid commissions you make on top of that, you simply go ahead and withdraw that and put it in your pocket. Now, when your account balance, right, from all the revenue sharing is being generated on a day-to-day basis, when your account balance reaches 60,000 points, right, into the equation, and it's maintained for 4 weeks, then we have a car payment program you will be able to be participating in. And then you have to do one more thing, is become a mentor, which we'll talk about in a little bit. What this allows you to do, though, is take an existing payment that you have on a car, or go down and buy a brand new one. So it could be new or used, any make, any model. The only stipulation, it can't be over 3 years old, and we will make the payment up to $1,200 per month. So that's another great perk. It's not the focus of the program, but it's a great perk. So you're able to participate in the daily revenue sharing pool, plus you can actually, in essence, get a car on the company. Now that's the first form of our revenue sharing program, but the second part is even more exciting, because it's the subscription bonus pools. And what we have here is team commissions. So we're going to apply the power of leverage. So to encourage team sales, we're going to take all the $10, the $50, the $100, and the $250, and we're going to put that into another pool. And so what happens here is the more of the pools that you qualify for, in essence, the more of the company you help us build, the more of the company's revenue you'll be able to take home. So the formula, once again, is take 50% of all those subscriptions. That's the contributor, the guardian, the benefactor, and the global investor. Take all of those. You take 50% of that, and we're going to pay that out on a leadership monthly type of scenario. Now, the other 50% that's left over, off the top comes the company's expenses, over split between the first pool that we just described. All of the rest of it goes to the charities, right, for all the kids. So let's kind of break that down a little bit more. So remember now, the more subscription pools that you qualify for, the greater your income potential. So we're going to show you a formula here how you qualify. But remember that the revenue sharing is coming from all of the subscriptions from all of the affiliates from abroad. So the first one is called the community pool. I like to call it the swimming pool because the qualification is just 2 people. You put 2 people in at any subscription level. What we do is we take 15%, right, of all the subscriptions that are in the pool, and then we're going to split that up to the people who have qualified that have put at least 2 people into the program. Now the second pool, which is 5%, right, of all the subscriptions that are going into this pool, is called the mentor pool. Now the qualification here is 5 active personal people that have a minimum of the benefactor. That's the $100 subscription. And so in addition to that, it's going to also require $2,500 in group volume. So remember, we put 50% of all the subscriptions in the pool. So if we were to translate that out, and we're just going to use Global Ambassador as an example. Now remember, any formula can work, any combination of the contributors, the guardians, the benefactor. We'll just kind of keep it simple and talk about the Global Ambassadors. Well, to get to $2,500 in group volume, that would require 20 Global Ambassadors. Then there's one more unspoken rule we need to talk about here, and is out of the minimum 5 teams, you can have more, but out of the minimum of the 5 teams, only 1 team can qualify with 50% of the volume of all the teams combined. So like a King Kong leg, I like to say. So one big group can only constitute for 50% of the group volume to qualify. So what we have here then is the mentor pool. If you can do that along with this, you're pretty much home free. And we call this the visionary pool. And the qualification here is out of those 5 people and those 5 teams you have established, anywhere down 4 of the teams, 4 separate teams, if 4 people become mentors, then you're in the visionary pool. Once again, another 5% for the revenue sharing that you're qualifying for. And then a second thing happens here is you then also start qualifying for a visionary ambassador bonus. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. So remember now, if you can get 5 and then 4 underneath the 5 become mentors, you're pretty much home free, because then it's just all going to be volume. Let's just take a little time out from that and talk about the Visionary Ambassador bonuses. This one is absolutely the most magical part of the program, because we've kind of been describing what's going to take the shape of what some guys talk about like a unilevel, and what we have here is up to 7 VIP pool tiers. So it matches the base pay on each dollar earned by the affiliates up to 7 tiers of leadership. And so if you understand, we take 35% of the revenue pool and set that to the side and pay that out in this formula. That is very, very powerful to make up to 7 tiers of overrides from leadership. Now we jump back into the VIP pools, and so what we have here is a volume of 15,000. So remember, there's nothing more for you personally to do. It's simply now calculating on a continuous basis all the subscriptions from your team. So we'll just show the numbers here of Global Ambassadors, remembering any formula, any combination will work to get to the 15,000 group volume. But we see here the group volume that would take from how many Global Ambassadors. Now to get into the next series of revenue pool, the next revenue pool of 5%, we're talking 25,000 in group volume. So once again, we're still just in the hundreds, nothing major, because remember, this is on a large scope, right? We're talking about creating a global company here, raising money for kids. So these numbers here, when you look at the backdrop of what we're talking about here, are very small. And of course, VIP Ambassador Pool 3, we see 35,000 group volume. Now we notice down here the Visionary Ambassador bonuses is up to 4 tiers of leadership there. And we got VIP Pool 4 at 50,000 group volume. We got the VIP Pool 5, 75,000 group volume. We've got VIP Ambassador Pool 6. And of course we got the VIP Ambassador Pool 7. Now notice down here, 7 tiers of visionaries and above. And so with this volume, 2,000 global ambassadors, when you consider the backdrop of how big this program can get. Now the founder of our program many years ago, before the age of the internet, was able to build a 1 million-man army in 18 months. Remember now, that was without the aid of the internet and only selling to the United States. So we kind of put this all in perspective. Now when we get to the Presidential Ambassador bonus, this is where the real magic starts to happen for people and their lives really, really start to transform. And so what we have here is 750,000 group volume, a magical thing happens in the first quarter, right? 3 months of qualifications, then you're going to qualify for the potential of your second car. Remember, we could get the first one by hitting 60,000 volume and becoming a mentor. Now we're talking about getting a Porsche Carrera convertible or a Mercedes CLS 550, both are 100,000 automobiles. The company buys them cash and hands you the keys. Now after the first quarter, when we go into the second quarter and beyond, it pays a $100,000 lifestyle bonus guaranteed. This has nothing to do with all the additional money we've earned from all the other revenue pools that we've already qualified for. And we also then throw in a $10,000 shopping spree from Neiman Marcus. So with the Presidential Ambassador being accomplished, what we have then is we have to put like a monthly cap on this, which is $250,000, because we know it's not that complicated. I didn't say easy, it's not that complicated to have a minimum of 5 and create the volume scenario. But what happens is when you hit Presidential Ambassador, the company's going to award you with a position above yourself, and that position is not going to have an income cap. Now remember, the 50% rule is still in effect, but that was accomplished by the first time you made it to Presidential Ambassador. So the second time you do it, there's no 5 to get 4, it's just simply more volume. And then of course, since the 50% rule has already been met, then the second time you do this, it only takes half the volume. In essence, in this scenario, 3,000 global ambassadors. Remember now, any combination will work. We're just trying to keep it simple. So once you achieve the title of Presidential Ambassador, or you earned $100,000 in calendar month, that position awarded to you. So when you hit the Presidential Ambassador position for the second time, we're going to give you then another perk, right? So the Presidential Ambassador Award Choice 2 says that you're going to have not a $100,000 benefit, but a $225,000 maximum benefit. Now that could be in the form of another luxury car. And remember, that would be your third car, but your third car could be a Bentley or a Lamborghini. Now you might not want a third car, so we give you the choice of a yacht. And if a yacht is not, you don't live by the water, you can get an RV, or you can actually get a home on the company. The choice is going to be yours. Now of course it doesn't stop there. You can do it again. We'll give you, once you hit Presidential again, we'll give you a third position. Once again, no income limitation, only takes half the volume as it did originally for the first time you did it. And then we're going to take $250,000 out of the revenue of the company. Remember, it doesn't come out of your pocket, comes from the revenue share from the company, and then we're going to establish an orphanage, and that's going to be in your name. Now remember, you don't have to manage it or run it. That's going to be your little slice of heaven. So now you have some kids specifically that you know from your accomplishments, you've in essence saved their life. So what we have there is a, last but not least, 4th time that this position can be obtained. And the 4th time you do it, once again we take another $250,000, probably in a third world country, and you'll be able to have a church, school, or hospital established in your name, which gives you, the best of both worlds. Not only do you have the emotional, satisfaction that you're directly affecting the lives of specific kids, you also know that your team volume helped lots of kids, of course, in addition to all of the monetary awards we've already talked about. But that's not it. The final position is called Presidential Elite, and when you hit Presidential Elite, that's when the team, does 1.5 million in group volume. If we were to translate that into global ambassadors, it would be 12,000 people. Now remember, this is on a very large scale. So what happens is when you hit Presidential Elite, besides all the revenue pools that you've qualified for and the quarterly bonus that you've also qualified for, we will then throw in a $50,000 monthly bonus guaranteed. So if you add up 50,000 obviously times 12 months, that's 600,000, and then you add in the quarterly bonus, that's going to put you in what we call the Million a Year Club. Not Millionaire Club, but million a year. Remember, Presidential Elite can be obtained not once, not twice, all the way 4 times that you can receive this monthly bonus. So, obviously we have a multiple 7-figure package in bonuses alone, plus all of the revenue pools, and of course the perks of the cars and the houses and the orphanages and the school, the church, or the hospital. So we call that the greatest compensation incentive of all time. And of course we're doing all this in the spirit of knowing that as we build the business, every bit helps a kid. Now I do remind you, the first time we do it, remember the Presidential Ambassador is going to be limited. Even the Presidential Elite is going to be limited to $250,000 a month. So we'd encourage you, if you see the opportunity to start today, if you have additional questions, get back with a person. There are live webinars that are going off around the clock besides recorded ones. There's obviously videos and more training tools available. And as you get started in the program, just ask the person for their own affiliate link to their website where you can enroll yourself online. 95% of all we do is going to simply be internet driven. And so remember, in the spirit of our company, Bids That Give, every bid helps a kid. We appreciate you taking the time out to listen to our presentation. We wish you all the success in the world. Thanks for watching. God bless.